Function 1.1, example 5. Evaluate a piecewise function. F of x equal to this, x is less than 2. F of x equal to this, x is greater than equal to 2. As you can see, there are two function definitions. So we call that as a piecewise function. So question is, find f of minus 1. So that's the answer here. So question is, find f of minus 1. So if you look at it, f of x, f of minus 1. So if you look at it, it's f of x. So minus 1 is the value of x. So minus 1 is the value of x. Where do you plug it in? Do you plug it in here for x, or do you plug it in here for x? Which one should we use? That depending on the value of x. Value of x is minus 1. You have to check the inequality on the right. Is minus 1 less than 2 or greater than equal to 2? Minus 1 satisfies this, less than 2. So you plug it in minus 1 to here. So f of minus 1, you plug it into 3 times minus 1 into here. Evaluate it, it will be what? 3 plus 1 equal to 4. That's how we get 4. Now find f of 2. So you check value of x as 2. Does 2 satisfy this inequality or this inequality? It's equal to 2 right here. So you plug in 2 here. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 5 minus 1. Find f of 10. 10 is greater than equal to 2. So you should know, we have to plug it in here. Plug in 10 here, evaluate the value. That's how you find the piecewise function. Domain. Domain refers to a set of all possible input values for which a function is defined. So any possible input value, usually it's x value, is domain. Can you solve this equation? So if I give you x squared equal to minus 4, and if I ask you what's the value of x, how do you get rid of square on the left-hand side? You have to take a square root, both sides. So if you take a square root, you will have this. Do not forget plus minus. Okay, so you have x equal to square root of minus 4, or x equal to minus square root of minus 4. You have two answers. So there's a typo, plus minus square root of minus 4. So if you think about it, square root minus 4, if index is even, square root, the inside cannot be minus. And then we are dealing with the imaginary number. So in real number section, this is not real number. That's not real number. So we say radicans. Radicans means what's inside the root. That we call that as a radicand. Of even roots must be positive or 0. It can be 0, it can be positive, it cannot be negative. So that brings in important information in domain. What is the domain? Very popular. There are two domain questions, very popular. And first style of domain question is related with root. So domain question, first style is a root, square root. How do you deal with the square root? Inside square root, you let that greater than equal to 0 because it cannot be minus. Second is a rational function. Rational function means function with x on denominator. So such as like this kind of function. So denominator cannot be 0. So you can, if you have rational function like that, how do you solve domain? Domain is denominator cannot equal to 0. That's how you solve it. So like this kind of equation, if I ask you what's the domain, denominator cannot equal to 0, denominator cannot equal to 0, so for x, x cannot equal to minus 2, That will be your domain answer. Okay, let's look at more example of this. State the domain of function g of x equal to square root of 4x minus 1. So, I just covered it. There are two style domain question. First style is a root. So what did I say? Inside the root has to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, do not set like this. Don't set like this. Okay? What's inside the root, not including the root. What's inside the root, just let that greater than or equal to 0. That's how you solve domain question. What do you do? Solve for x. Plus 1, plus 1. So 4x is greater than equal to 1. X is greater than equal to 1/4. That is answer. You write that as a interval notation, and that's the answer. 1/4 comma infinity with a bracket there. State the domain of the function. Okay, so this one you don't see root, you see variable on denominator. So that's gonna be second style I mentioned. So how do you solve it? Denominator cannot equal to 0. So you look at it, t squared minus 1, you cannot let that equal to 0. That means t squared cannot equal to 1. T squared, how do you get rid of square? Take a square root both sides. T cannot equal to plus minus square root of 1. Square root of 1 is 1. So what's the domain? This is a good answer. If I force you to use set notation, that's a very elegant way using set notation. You could have said t such that t cannot equal to plus minus 1. That's perfect answer. The element of a real number, you don't have to do that. Okay, so this part is going to be combination of both. Domain of this. Did you realize we are seeing the root? So that's a style number 1. Inside the root cannot equal to 0. Well, do you see x on denominator as a fraction? So that's a style number 2, rational function. So it has a both. So if you deal with the root, domain of the root, inside the root has to be greater than equal to 0. Inside the root, which is 2x minus 3, has to be greater than equal to 0. But do you remember, considering rational function, anything on the bottom of the fraction cannot equal to 0. Since 2x minus 3 with the root is under the fraction here, on the denominator, it cannot equal to 0. So you have to exclude that. So 2x minus 3 is greater than 0, excluding this equal sign because it's on the bottom. Solve for x here, and that will be your answer. So your answer will be what? X is greater than 3/2, or in interval notation, that will be the one. So typical mistake for this question is many students leave a root equal sign there and get that wrong. So you shouldn't have equal sign there. So if x is greater than 3/2, that's the only answer. The difference quotient of a function f is an expression of the form where h is not equal to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. You need to memorize this. What is it called? Difference quotient of a function f. What is it? This is a difference quotient. So you need to memorize this formula. So conceptually, this is the same as a slope, rate of change, slope. So there's a point x here. If you go to the right by h, we can consider as x plus h. Whatever according y value is denoted as f of x. X plus h is x value. Whatever according value of y is f of x plus h. So it's basically x1, y1, x2, y2, and you're using the slope formula. So if you do that slope formula, basically you will have x comma f of x. You have x plus h comma f of x plus h. You got 2 points. So slope formula like x1, y1, x2, y2. Slope formula is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is slope formula. So if you do y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, x minus x on the bottom cancels out. So you end up with this. That's a story behind of this difference quotient of the function, which is basically slope. You will run into that in the calculus. So for now, all you have to do is just be able to get this difference quotient. So question would look something like this. So I will give you, that's the answers. So I will give you f of x equal to this. I will ask you find this, find this, find this. So you got 3 different questions. So let me just do one by one for you. So f of x equal to x squared minus 4x plus 7 of x squared minus 4x plus 7. That's given. I gave that to you. That's the question. Then what are you looking for? First one is f of 2. F of 2. Again, I want you to just follow this format. Do you realize I did not fill up inside the parentheses? I just left as a parenthesis square, minus 4 parentheses. Wherever x appears, just replace it with a parenthesis first. Structure this way first. What's inside parentheses? 2, 2, 2. So you set up perfectly. Just evaluate this. Parenthesis 2 squared equal to 4. Minus 4 times 2 is minus 8. Plus 7 is plus 7. Evaluate this. Minus 4 plus 7 is what? 3? Is your answer for first one. Okay, second one is, so first one, A is done here. B. F of x plus 3. Same thing. F of x plus 3. I need a little bigger parenthesis. So until you really get used to it, do not fill that up with x plus 3. Don't do it yet. Just look at this structure, function definition, and just try to lay them out first. I know I need a wider parenthesis. So just wherever x appears in the function definition, just plug it in parenthesis instead. And what happened to be inside the parenthesis for this particular question? X plus 3. Then I'm going to write x plus 3 everywhere with a parenthesis. So your setting is done. What do you do? Distribute, combine like term, and all that. So if you do parenthesis square, if you remember the formula, go for it. If you don't, you will have to fold it. I'm going to fold this one, distribute this one right away. Minus 4x minus 12 plus 7. So fold this. You will have x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. 1, 2, 3 terms. Write them down. All you have to do is combine like terms here. X squared by himself. X, x, x. 6 minus 4 plus 2. 9 minus 12 is minus 3 plus 7 plus 4. Yep. That is the answer for second one. Now, difference quotient. They are asking you to get this. Okay. So, if I were you, I would not jump into this directly. I will get this one first. F of x plus h. I will do that first. F of x plus h. Just the way you did f of x plus 3. So I'm going to do that first. Parenthesis square minus 4 parenthesis plus 7. F of x plus h. I need to get f of x plus h. X plus h. X plus h. Okay, so work is exactly the same. X plus h twice. Distribute minus 4. So FOIL it. Multiply here. You have to FOIL it. X squared plus xh plus xh or hx. H squared here minus 4x minus 4h plus 7. So we have combined like term here. X squared plus 2hx plus h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 7. That is good as it is. I cannot combine like term any further here. Okay, now we are ready to do this, which is C. Well, this is a part of the C. So C is what? F of x plus h. Actually, minus f of x all over h. That's x plus h here, x here. Okay, so that's the C. We need to get that equal to. So I need you to be able to set up, in a way, something minus something with a parenthesis first. What is that? This. What is that? This. So f of x plus h, we already did that work here. F of x plus h is all that right here. So you need to write it down here. X squared plus 2hx plus h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 7. Parenthesis minus, what's f of x? Well, f of x is provided in the very beginning. F of x is right there. F of x, they gave it to you. So f of x is x squared. So x squared minus 4x plus 7. So I'm going to write it down. X squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, this setting is very important. You can set this up, then most likely you can pull this out. Okay, this first parenthesis has nothing in front of it, meaning there's a 1. Distributing 1 doesn't do much. So you can just get rid of a parenthesis without changing anything. Plus 2hx minus 4x minus 4h plus 7. Okay, this parenthesis has a minus in front of it, meaning you have to distribute minus 1. It's going to change every sign inside the second parenthesis. Minus, plus, minus. Okay, do you see x squared minus x squared? They cancels out. Do you see minus 4x plus 4x? They cancels out. Plus 7 minus 7, excuse me, cancels out. So what do we have? H squared left. And plus 2hx minus 4h. Everything else is canceled out. Okay, one checkpoint here. Make sure every term on numerator includes h. Includes h. What if there's a term without h? That means you made a mistake somewhere. Fix it. If every term has h in it, you did everything good. So factor out h from the numerator. take h out, factor h out, factor h out, then you will have this. Okay, if some of you are a little confused of factoring h out, what that means. So from h squared, factoring h out means you're dividing by h. Okay, dividing by h. So you got 2hx here, dividing by h. So h cancels out, you get 2x. So you have minus 4h, minus 4h. Factoring h out means you're dividing by h, so you get minus 4. Okay? Once you factor out h, you get to cancel numerator denominator. So final answer should be h plus 2x minus 4. So 2x plus h minus 4, same thing. Okay. There is another PowerPoint I posted on Canvas other than this PowerPoint. That one has more examples in it. So you should look at that and do extra practice. For this one, I did print out that extra practice here. So you should try these questions. Without looking at any reference, if you can. So this question is available on the other PowerPoint. So right now, pause it, do this question, see if you can pull out this question. Then I'll show you answers on the following slide. So you don't want to go there. Just do it first on a piece of paper. It will take some time. Pause it, do it. Okay? Okay, if you did it, here's my work. So that's definition. Here's your first part, A. Here's a B. C is this, but I did the work previously on C. Once you did that, then you can do this. I forgot the parentheses here. Okay, so if you got this all the way, that means you did everything correct. Okay, so you need to finish this worksheet. You need to log into the Delta Math and do 1.1 worksheet in Delta Math. So you have 2 homeworks here. Both of them are due next Monday, 8 a.m. Okay, guys, bye.